Over 230,000 Singaporeans aged 50 and above have appointed someone to act on their behalf if they lose the mental capacity to do so. That's up by around 30% since July 2023. The jump comes after the process of applying for a lasting power of attorney, or LPA, was made easier through an online portal pushed on by a nationwide campaign to drive awareness.
A few months was all it took to leave Celine Chai's relative on his deathbed after a sudden illness. Ms. Chai was left to settle his affairs with not much direction.
It was tough because I think at his critical stage, we did ask him what are his any last words or important message that he wants to let us know, how he wants to do things. Of course, I can't be very specific that how you want your week to be like, things like that, right? Or how you want us to manage the rest of your things, or even like houses, but nothing has been really mentioned to us.
After that experience, Ms. Chai decided to create a lasting power of attorney for herself and persuaded her 74-year-old mother to do it too. LPA is a legal document that appoints someone to act on your behalf in the event you have no mental capacity to do so. Her mother says while these topics can be taboo for older generations, she was grateful to her daughter for asking her about it.
改次我万一什么事他们已经知道我安排了那些东西财务物质这些他们会解决了，这样就很好啦。
Ms. Chai and her mother are two of more than 280,000 Singaporeans across all age groups who have registered for LPAs. Monthly registrations have more than doubled since July 2023. Over 50,000 people have also completed their advanced care planning, which sets out a person's future care needs.
This is a great start, and we want to build the momentum to do more to raise awareness on the importance of legacy planning, and at the same time normalize such conversations.
The Legacy Planning campaign is part of a multi-agency effort to encourage families to have open discussions about future care and financial preferences. The campaign features a series of educational videos, roadshows and mobile clinics held island-wide. Over 100 law students volunteered their time to bring residents through the process.
Legacy planning for the elderly, that is a bit of a taboo. Now, but if you discuss it with your family and your children explain it to you, it makes it a bit easier and also confident for them to come down together with the family.
The multi-agency awareness campaign will be expanded to drive awareness for CPF nominations and wills as well.
Authorities are looking at a one-stop portal to streamline the process of legacy planning. This is, as they say, interactions with multiple government agencies may be challenging for citizens. And to tell us more about this, I'm now joined by Lim Sze Ling, CEO of ServiceSG at the Public Service Division. And also with us is Chee, Senior Director of the Family Life Group at the Social and Family Development Ministry. A warm welcome to the both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Ms. Lim, let's start with you. End-of-life topics, they remain typically taboo here in Singapore. These are very difficult conversations to have with your loved ones. How is this influencing attitudes towards lasting power of attorney applications and advanced care planning?
I would say that certainly there's a segment of Singaporeans that still find it taboo, but actually through our campaign efforts, we've actually found that there's a growing changing attitude in terms of approaching the end of life as well as legacy planning. And we've been very encouraged. If you look at the number of LPAs and ACP made during the campaign period, it's gone up. The number of people who come to our roadshows, respond to the workshops and the talks. So, and something's interesting for us to see is that when people come and say, hey, why are you here? Why are you showing up? Why you want to start on your journey? They keep talking about, oh, I have this uncle, he had dementia. I had a colleague, he suddenly had a stroke. And it dawned to them that they wanted to start legacy planning earlier for themselves. The other one that we see when people come and talk to us is driven by love. Love for their loved ones. Like just a few weeks ago, I was at the ServiceSG Center, and this mother, older lady, she had 3 daughters. They're all adults now, and she was sharing that she wanted to start the legacy planning journey because she wanted her 3 daughters to, even when she loses mental cap, they know her wishes, they know who's appointed for what, and they will be not so stressed, and it would be a journey for them to take care of themselves and her. So they're driven by love to start this. And so the name of our campaign is Legacy Planning, looking at the gift of certainty, and the gift of certainty to the loved ones when the time that you cannot speak for yourself.
This is really an encouraging sign that we are seeing, right?
Yeah, very
Increase,
encouraging.
Yeah, in the number of people applying for LPAs since the launch of this multi-agency campaign. If you look at the numbers, as you said earlier, from 177,000 to 233,000
That's right.
in the last 15 months alone. But Mr. Tan, what have been some of the challenges faced in trying to get people to come forward to apply for LPAs?
I think first of all, it's still the mindset. I mean, some people think that they don't need to make an LPA, maybe because they are still young or they're not sick, they're healthy. But actually, everyone can benefit from that. I think some of them also feel that believe that, hey, if a loved one or relative suddenly loses mental capacity, just being a next of kin can give them the authority to act. But actually, that's not true, because you still need an LPA that gives the legal powers. So I think that's the first thing on mindset. I think some, after knowing that they want to do this, actually don't quite know how to broach that conversation. You can imagine it's quite a difficult topic.
It is, yes.
Yeah, and I think we do need to provide some resources, maybe toolkits, guides on how to start that conversation with loved ones. Necessary, difficult. I think finally there's usually some practical issues like convenience, costs. There's still some misperceptions about that. The online digitalization, the online form is really great compared to before digitalization and before our campaign. Actually, the average number of applications for LPA now has more than doubled.
Okay.
So that's really promising. We have made it also easier to search for and to book appointment with a certificate issuer online. So you can do it really convenient.
But Ms. Lim, these current initiatives like fee waivers and online applications, as Mr. Tan has mentioned, are these enough to encourage people to come forward?
I think I think that there are many different ways that people get started.
Okay.
I think starting to have conversations with your loved ones is something that everyone has to do. People struggle with that. Actually, what we are offering at our ServiceSG centers is also guidance. So we offer, if you go to the My Legacy website, which is a one-stop portal that helps you understand and start on the different types of instruments, get to know LPA better, get to know ACP better, wills, as well as CPF norm. You can also book an appointment with our ServiceSG center. It's a guidance service, if to just understand the tools itself. So I think everybody has to start somewhere and just get started.
If I can just add on, even though the numbers are pretty encouraging, but if you look at it, across Singapore, actually the majority, more than half, have still not made the LPA ACP. So I think it's very important that we keep up the efforts. I think really a lot more has to be done to get the word out. And a big part is through partners. I mean, it's really great, very heartening so far that we have partners with grassroots, community organizations, financial institutions, and so on.
But I'm curious, though, the loss of mental capacity, that can happen to anyone at any point in time.
That's right.
Why are current efforts or goals targeted at those aged 50 and above?
I think Singapore society is aging. That's something that more of us have to be caregivers to seniors. The incidence of dementia among seniors are also higher. I mean, that's sort of proven by research. So I think it's right that we prioritize, but at the same time, it's really meant for everybody. I think it's something that it's not just...
What about the younger Singaporeans? What will be done to engage this group?
So, definitely. So while we prioritize the 50 and above, actually our campaign actually reaches down to youths as well.
Okay.
So I was sharing just now that we have youth groups that actually even start off a deaf cafe, to start off conversations. And that's so encouraging to see the youth come on board. And when they talk to us, they were saying, they want to learn how to have these conversations for their parents as well as for their grandparents. And I think that's incredibly encouraging.
That's definitely encouraging.
And we're also encouraging people to start early. And every time you go through a different life stage, to renew your plans, to review your LPA, your ACP, and your CPF norms, renew it every time something changes, not keep it to the end.
Looking at the situation in Singapore, though, beyond the challenges of aging population, we are also seeing more singles and shrinking families. Does that complicate LPA and ACP planning, or does it even make more necessary to have one in place?
I believe that it really makes it more important. I think whether it's family shrink, I think the support that we have for each other, the caregiving responsibilities will probably go up. And all the more that we need to plan ahead. You know, the gift of certainty, that's what Sze Ling said. That's something that's really key.
Miss Lim?
Yeah, and I was going to add that if you're single, you're not sure, that's why we start early to have conversations. Perhaps there are extended family members, there are other trusted persons in your life that you could be having those conversations
It's
with.
really about normalizing these very important conversations. Ms. Lim, Mr. Tan, thank you very much for coming into the studio to talk about this very important topic. That was Ms. Lim Sze Ling, CEO of ServiceSG at the Public Service Division, and also Tan Chee Hao, Senior Director of the Family Life Group at the Social and Family Development Ministry.